Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of Just the Facts with yours truly. Of course, it's that time of week again where I bring you the facts to expand your gaming knowledge. This week we shall be discussing the potential towards The Last of Us Part 2, its potential release, and some random opinions and facts from myself shoved in there as well. So that being said, on with the show! So jumping right into it, all evidence suggests that in an upcoming PlayStation State of Play livestream, we are going to be seeing more information regarding The Last of Us 2, as more rumours surrounding the title begin to surface. With Sony's first big title of the year, Days Gone, finally out of the way, the rest of Sony's 2019 schedule for PS4 exclusives is looking unusually dismal and bare bones right now, because neither Death Stranding nor Ghosts of Tsushima have confirmed release dates. But anyway, y'all came here to hear the biggie. Of course, the most anticipated top of the list game goes to The Last of Us Part 2. It would seem that this is the next likely candidate to be the one that arrives later this year, or possibly next year. I'll get into that in a little bit. So, if you look everywhere, the evidence is actually hidden in plain sight, from store listings and confirmation from the PlayStation Store itself that Naughty Dog's apocalyptic dystopian sequel will be, in fact, launching in 2019. And now a recent hint from a gaming industry insider suggests we'll be hearing more about the title very, very soon. In a Reset Era thread discussing The Last of Us 2's potential release date, a user on the forum, whom I may add, has actually accurately leaked the existence of Sony's State of Play internet show before it was even announced earlier this year. So, he's foreshadowed that whole thing before Sony even played it. So, but anyway, he went on to say, considering we're getting an official The Last of Us 2 update before E3, it would be really weird if it wasn't a 29 release date now, wouldn't it? So, as brilliant as this dude's foreshadowing is, honestly, in my opinion, I believe Sony are going to save this release and drop it on next-gen consoles, which are supposed to be set for a mid-2020 release, I think. But yeah, I think we will definitely be hearing more on The Last of Us 2 this year, hands down, without a doubt. Because, as with Days Gone, they want to be hyping it up as much as they did with that. But that's all I think it's going to be, just trailers, maybe some early beta gameplay, a few teasers to the game's story and characters, etc. But an actual release of this year, in this gamer's personal opinion, I believe Sony will save this golden egg as a platform release game for next generation consoles. So obviously the PS5. Well, they're calling it a PS5, but it might as well be a PS4 Pro. It's just because all it's going to be playing is PS4 games for the start of the year. So anyway, I could be wrong, but it would make total sense, as a lot of game devs are deciding to postpone games for this exact reason. As I mentioned earlier with Ghosts of Tsushima and Death Stranding, considering all media for those two games has actually dried up, and all news on the two have gone very hush-hush. But yeah, anyway, that is just my personal opinion, and I'm here to bring you the facts, so moving on. But before we do, let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. Do you agree with me, or do you think it will be released this year and I'm just chatting out my ass, basically? Don't hesitate to let me know, no matter how negative it may be. So yeah, anyway, moving on. This year's E3 schedule kicks off as early as June the 7th, with the EA Play event, which means, according to this tease, we could be seeing some new gameplay for The Last of Us 2 in less than a month. Because remember, yes, it is a PlayStation exclusive and PlayStation have pulled out of E3, but it's also a Naughty Dog product who will be attending E3, so there's no saying that Naughty Dog won't drop something on us about it. But yet, interestingly, Hideo Kojima has actually teased a new trailer for his next game, which of course is Death Stranding, and he did that just last month, suggesting we could be seeing another State of Play show at some point in May or possibly early June. You know, just probably showing us some more trailers and more gameplay as opposed to an actual release date. Because again, in this gamer's personal opinion, I believe these games, they've been hyped up for so many years now, I just believe they are going to be saved for the PlayStation 5 or PlayStation Pro. But this would actually certainly be the best way for Sony to keep its player base happy after the Days Gone hype has worn off, with everyone now all but finishing it. Well, except for me. I haven't finished it. I've been doing other things, but yeah. But anyway, now all of Sony's gamers are going to be waiting for the next big title, and whether that be Death Stranding or Ghost of Tsushima or, you know, just even Last of Us 2, everyone's going to be waiting for something new. But despite Sony's absence from E3, the tech giant may reveal more about its announced PS5 console, despite recently stating that the next-gen hardware won't be out till May 2020 at the earliest. So if they release some specs regarding the console, it'll probably just be hard drive specs, memory specs, what it's capable of, like full 4K HDR without having to have a PlayStation Pro, but even though this is basically a PlayStation Pro. But yeah, whether this hypothetical state of play gives us a release date for either The Last of Us 2, Death Stranding, or Ghost of Tsushima is anyone's guess. But their status as two of the most anticipated games of 2019 and beyond makes this rumour all the more exciting. I would say the ball is most assuredly in your court on this one, Sony and Naughty Dog. You know, you've got a lot to do with this, Sony, so you can either piss us all off, or you can give us something big to end the PS4's life, and then just move on to new titles with the PlayStation 5. So, we do have confirmation that the Last of Us 2 game has indeed finished filming. However, shooting games, just like shooting movies, is only part of the production progress. Like, with movies, games can be pushed back for reshoots, or have to be taken back to the drawing board altogether if the guys over at the PEGI rating teams aren't happy with some of the content in the game. Even though The Last of Us 2 is assuredly going to be rated R, 18 where I am, there's always that possibility the guys at PEGI could be like, hang on, we can't have this in a game. This is way too far. You got to take it back and rework it, guys. You know, but that would obviously mean a postponement and a lack of release date. Because there's no point dropping a release date on us if the guys at PEGI are just going to tell them to take it back, because then they'll have to announce a postponement. And with how many times Days Gone was postponed, I'm pretty sure Sony don't want to drop themselves in that kind of shitstorm again. But regarding this, though, in a more recent tweet posted on the 19th of April this year, Drunkman confirmed that all planned cinematic shooting on The Last of Us Part 2 has concluded, which answers the question of whether the team was shooting the game out of order and how many scenes actually remained. Apart from potential retakes, as I stated about the guys at PEGI not being happy with certain scenes, The Last of Us 2 has been shot and fully completed. This makes it that much likelier it'll get a proper release date soon. I'm not dropping a proper assured soon on that. That's more me being, maybe it will get the release date. But yeah, we just don't know. But either that, I will definitely be seeing more details surrounding the game. You know, maybe just some more gameplay or just anything to do with that, basically. It is also worth noting that even if the ending scene of The Last of Us Part 2 has indeed been filmed, likewise while motion capture and voice acting is a huge chunk of the legwork for games like The Last of Us, God of War, Red Dead Redemption, it's only part of the production progress, as I mentioned, and that production is just one part of the game's development. You know, they've still got so much more to deal with. I mean, yes, the mocap can be finished. Yes, the script can be finished. But they'll have to sort out the graphics. If it's due to come out on next gen, they'll have to upgrade the graphics. They'll have to change all the bloody title screens and whatnot from PS4 to PS5. You know, that kind of stuff. But I say this not to rain on the clicker parade. Oh, see what I did there. Anyway, but to temper expectations regarding The Last of Us Part 2's potential release date, which is obviously currently unknown and will probably remain that way for a number of months, even after E3. However, Drunkman's update was exciting news, and it's good to know the sequel is ticking along. But knowing that the ending has been shot is not the same thing as hearing that the game is finished. So, you know, it could go either way at this moment, guys. That being said, though, this does suggest that the development is well over the top, over the hill, so to speak, and that really does line up with all the rumours and perpetrated leaks. I'm going to say perpetrated leaks we've heard, as you know, if you look at forums, it's everywhere, regarding the sequel's release date. Several sources, including PlayStation Store, have suggested The Last of Us Part 2 will release in late 2019. But as I said, with Sony currently announcing the PS5 and saying the PS4 is coming to the end of its life, it really wouldn't surprise me if they do save this golden egg for the PlayStation 5, for the next gen stuff. But Drunkman's update doesn't necessarily rule out that kind of time frame. I'm just throwing in my own opinion there. So, for example, let's use a comparison. Drunkman previously said that the mocap shooting for Uncharted 4 was finished roughly 7 months before the game's release. So timelines can differ wildly between projects, but it's an encouraging precedent to say the least. But again, Naughty Dog has yet to commit to a release date, and I'm pretty sure they're keeping hush hush because it's Sony's baby as well, and Sony are telling them to stay hush hush. So it's possible the sequel, as I said again, will roll on into 2020. You know, with the next gen platform release, which obviously we can't rule out as a possibility. So yeah, that would definitely put it closer to the launch of the PS5, which will be backwards compatible with PS4 games, but could also tap The Last of Us Part 2 for a cross-gen release. So as I've said before in previous Just the Facts videos, the same thing has happened to many other titles, including The Last of Us on the PS3, which transitioned over to PS4. But yeah, you get me. I could relist all the games that transitioned from PS3 to PS4, but we'd be here till next Sunday. So anyway, hopefully we can put these rumours to rest with an official release date soon, hopefully at E3. I'm really hoping that Sony allow Naughty Dog to drop some teasers or drop an actual release date on us at E3. It'd be really lit if they did, because it's not just Sony's baby, it's Naughty Dog's baby. The Uncharted franchise has carried Naughty Dog as well as The Last of Us. But obviously Sony won't be at E3 2019, but news could still arrive in the summer if nothing's announced at E3 from Naughty Dog. But yeah, anyway, that's about all I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologise for this. It's a shorter episode than usual. But there really isn't that much information surrounding the game. I've done so much digging, and if I dug any deeper, I'd find myself digging to China. You know? But yeah, that being said, I'm still holding on to my theory that it's going to be saved as a golden egg for the PS5 to be used as a console launch title, much like Rockstar Games are planning to do with Grand Theft Auto 6, with the next gen of PlayStation and Xbox jumps out at us. So yeah, that's it for this episode. Hope you all enjoyed it, guys. Definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm eager to hear your thoughts and feedback on this. So shout out to all subscribers, old and new. We are now at 875. We're steadily growing, guys, trying to reach that goal of 900 before the end of the year. Let's see if we can get it out there. So if you enjoy my content, share it about to your friends, post it on your Facebook, Instagrams and whatnot. If you're new to the channel, I always sub back to new subscribers and view any content you may be producing. And if you enjoyed this video, please do drop me a like as well. But yeah, stay tuned tomorrow for the continuation of our Telltale Game series. We will be streaming the Walking Dead 400 Days DLC. We're doing the entire lot, so it's going to be a long live stream. It's probably going to be about 2, maybe 3 hours long, because we're going to be going through each character individually. And next week, because it's my last week off work, we have a ton of games coming up as well. So stay tuned for that, guys. I hope you all are going to enjoy it. So yeah, this has been Just the Facts with Gamerdude. Happy gaming, and I will catch you all real soon, guys.